Two-man on. Coming to the plate for Explore Tulsa team is the power-hitting Trish Whitmer.
Save it, Stevie. You're not going to be found like Bob Carpenter was.
Man, he's done so much throughout his career and met so many amazing athletes.
Why don't we let him tell us all about the great moments in sports that he's had the chance to witness and call?
But maybe all is right in the Cardinal world again. Red Shadings has his tomatoes out.
He made his stop early tonight, Bob.
Getting to call a Cardinals division clincher in 1996. The following year, Mark McGwire showed up, calling a lot of his home runs in 1998. You know, and we didn't know about the whole andro steroids thing back then. That all came out later, but that was really exciting. A couple of Cardinal no-hitters with rookie pitchers, Jose Jimenez and Bud Smith. Those were fun. In college basketball, I got to call some NCAA games, the Final Four in St. Louis in 2005. For NCAA International, I think we were on in like 100 countries or something. Football, the Holiday Bowl in 1988, Barry Sanders' last game. Pat Jones on the sidelines. That was my first bowl game for ESPN. And then there's soccer. You know, I was with the Roughnecks for a long time, getting to call their soccer bowl win in 1983 in Vancouver when they won the NASL championship. That was a thrill. And then 11 years later, the World Cup here in the United States. And I was able to do those games at 5 different stadiums, 5 different venues around the country. That was very cool.
As the Dutch take on the Saudis. Good evening and welcome to RFK Stadium. I'm Bob Carpenter. The Dutch side is considered the second best team in Europe, and FIFA has them ranked behind the Germans.
I am not a memorizer. I've got my numerical charts, and you know, I have some for football, I had some for basketball. Baseball, you work out of a scorebook. But I used to sit there for the first 5 minutes of a basketball game, and when I started working for USA Network and ESPN, I wasn't doing TU versus whoever, or ORU versus whoever. I was doing 2 teams that maybe I didn't know that well. But it's remarkable when you, I think it took me, I think after doing play-by-play seriously for about 5 years, it really started kicking in, where if I was about that first 4-minute timeout that comes under the 16-minute mark in the first half, when I came out of that timeout, it dawned on me suddenly, hey, I know all these guys. Mannerisms, facial features, hair, the way they wear the uniform, socks, whatever. You would pick up little things without even realizing it or thinking about it. And then you got the rest of the game to try to make it even better. And hopefully in the second half, when you really get down to crunch time, that's when you can really put your best foot forward. I consider every day I go to the ballpark a privilege. I don't have to go to an office. I don't have a boss screaming over my shoulder. I have a lot of people watching over me to make sure I don't do stupid things or say stupid things. But you know, I just try to keep it in perspective every day. So, you know, I had all those years with the Cardinals. I had a lot of years with ESPN. And now, you know, the last place in my life I thought I'd ever find myself would be our nation's capital doing Nationals baseball. And, you know, the Nationals may be the last job I ever have in broadcasting. If that's the way it works out, that's great. I'm in my early 60s now. I've been doing this for almost 40 years and traveling a lot. And there will come a time over the next few years when it'll be time to shut it down or to scale it way back. Because my primary goals, I think now for the rest of my life, is I want to be the best husband I can be. I want to be the greatest dad I can be to my 2 girls. And the best father-in-law I can be to my son-in-law, and you know, maybe a granddad someday. But you know, I look back, and I've been so fortunate to do a lot of things, and you know, that's my perspective, not any accomplishments I have. You know, the awards over there on the shelf, and the Bill Teagan's award and that stuff. You know, those are nice, they're meaningful, it makes you feel good. But if you're in this business to get awards, get out right now. Because it's the people you work with, the crews you get to work with, the great producers, directors, analysts, other announcers. And when I take off the headset for the final time sometime in the next few years, those will be the things I think about.